Okay, so today's goal, now remember this is a new unit. We're dealing with Unit 8, and this is unit rate, proportions, all of Unit 8. So this is the very beginning, and you should have seen a lot of this before. So with this unit, this part of the unit, we're just going to kind of go through it quickly because this should be a review for you. So it is to write ratios and rates and to find unit rates. We've talked about ratios in class before, so we're going to go more into that. But once again, you should have known, or you should be familiar with ratios. So to remember, a ratio is a comparison of two quantities. Remember in class we talked about it's a comparison of two numbers. It can be written three ways: as a fraction, 5/4, or 5/4, or with a colon, 5/4. Now, this can be done as a part-to-part. Now, with a part-to-part, you're comparing two different things. So, for example, if you're in a band, you could compare flutes to clarinets. If you're cooking out, you can compare hamburgers to hot dogs. Okay, so that's part-to-part. Now, the second one, for example, 3/7, 3/7, or 3:7, 3/7 once again, like a part to whole. So if, like, let's use our band example. So if you are in the band, this would be how many flutes compared to the entire band, okay? Or it's a part to a whole. How many of this one particular thing to the whole section? So that's a part to whole. So you have your two kinds here. Part to part, where you're comparing two different things, and part to whole, where you're comparing a little section to the whole thing. Okay, now, equivalent ratios. Equivalent ratios are ratios that name the same comparison. This is just equivalent fractions. So, for example, 4/6, it is equal to 2/3. Once again, another one, 8/12, it is also equal to 2/3. It's just that when fractions compare, they are equivalent. It's just equivalent fractions. We've talked about fractions before in earlier units. So like I said, this is a very quick review because you should be very familiar with your ratios. All right, now rate. Rate is a comparison of two quantities that have different units of measure. So let's talk about this example. Your units are going to be your most important thing. If you can identify your units, then the rest of the problem won't be an answer. You're always trying to figure out how long will it take me to get to this unit per one. Okay, you're always trying to get it so where your denominator is 1. So a word problem. A 3-pack of paper towels cost $2.79. A 6-pack of paper towels cost $5.46. Which is the better deal? Now, this is a very real-life situation. If you go to the grocery store with your parents, you always see you can get 2 for this or 5 for this. Of course, the grocery store, they want you to buy more, so they try to give you a better deal with you buying more. But we're going to see which is the better buy. So first, you have to identify your units. It's not always just going to be given to you. You have to identify the two parts they're talking about. So the two parts we're talking about here, of course, is money. That's always the one that kind of stands out. So money, and I'm just going to put a $sign. And the other one you're comparing, just because you have a 3 in front of it doesn't mean that the other one is pack. It's your paper towels. So money versus paper towels. Alright, so you first have to identify your units. Now, then it says divide the quantities of the rates. So you're comparing two things. You have two things to compare. You have $2.79 for 3 sets of paper towels, $5.46 for 6 paper towels. So you set it up and you divide. And what I do is I leave it as a fraction. You have your dollars over your paper towels. I'm going to abbreviate here. I'm going to say PT for paper towels. Alright, so you can just divide that in your calculator. 2.79 divided by 3. And we're going to get, let me check my math here, and you're going to get 93 cents for one paper towel. Okay, remember, you want your unit, so 93 cents to one roll of paper towel. Okay, now the other one for $5.46, and you have to excuse me, let me get a calculator because I didn't grab one with me. So just 1 second. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too weird. Okay, so let me check it. So 2.79 divided by 3, and that is 93 cents. And then we have the other one, $5.46, and we're going to divide that by 6. So $5.46, we're going to divide that by 6, and that's our money versus our paper towels. And we get 91 cents per one paper towel. So 93 cents versus the 91 cents. So of course we're going to compare our 93 cents to our 91 cents. And of course the 91 cents is better for the rate. This is a smaller rate, so that means that the buying the 6-pack would be a better buy. Now, in class, we're going to start from here, and your homework is going to be in your workbook. Now, in your workbook, it does talk about, in the beginning, it gives you a table and you have ratios. It's either comparing part to part or part to whole. Make sure you read that, and so that you know that it's two different ways you can answer that. And then the rest you have unit rates and ratios. You're just comparing ratios and unit rates. So we'll talk about that when we have class. Okay, I'll let you get that copied, and I'm going to turn it off.